We're way off. I'm way off my game, and I can tell Darin's a little tired tonight. So this could either be one of the greatest episodes of all time, or
there's no way to tell for sure.
Usually it is. Usually when we're off our game, it's when we're excited and bright-eyed and bushy-tailed is when they go south.
You know what? I'm looking at the rundown. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how you could lose with this rundown. I mean, I'm looking at this lineup here of that we're going to talk about, and I really have no idea how you could possibly do anything but win.
Okay. You do cook up a mighty fine rundown.
Yeah, thank you.
Tell you.
Thank you very much.
Go that way, really fast. If something gets in your way, turn.
Welcome to Irritable Dad Syndrome. We promise we're not going to talk about Dune this week. Please welcome your hosts, Mike and Darin.
Hi, I'm Darin.
I am Mike.
Welcome to Irritable Dad Syndrome, Cincinnati's comedy podcast. This is episode 198.
Yeah, we do stuff that is intended to be funny.
We try.
Many times that happens. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it don't.
Well, this is the podcast that makes you laugh and it makes you think.
And cry sometimes.
Yeah.
We don't get into politics. We don't get into anything of really
any importance at all. Yeah, although tonight Mike and I ran into somebody who is running for Ohio State Senate, and we're going to talk about running into him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so his campaign was active before this episode came out. God be with him. How you doing?
I'm doing really good. We record this podcast in advance, and this is, by the time you kids listen to it, it'll be a couple weeks after this person has passed away. But a character actor named Emmett Walsh passed away, and I was looking at his obit today, and I got so pissed off because NPR, National Public Radio, described him as ham-faced, heavy-set character actor Emmett Walsh. I'm like, what the hell does ham-faced mean?
What does it mean? Really?
I don't know. But this guy, he was in over 200 movies, okay?
Yeah.
And then I don't know how many TV shows he appeared on, and then live stage performances. The guy was just a seasoned veteran actor who, I mean, everything he was in, he was great. He nailed every performance. If they needed him to be funny, he could be funny. Creepy. Needed him to be the tough guy. Yeah, he could be the tough guy.
Yeah.
He could do anything that anybody needed him to do at any time.
Hell of a guy.
Yeah.
Gets to the end of his life, end of a wonderful, amazing career.
They call him ham-faced.
Ham-faced.
Yeah. What the hell does that mean?
I mean, no offense to ham.
Right.
But
I know.
Yeah.
I'm like, my God. And please, and I want this recorded. When I die, please, dear God, somebody look over my obit and don't let them call me ham-faced, wonky-eyed, slack-jawed, hunched over, beaten down character actor podcast host Darin Cox has passed away.
If I happen to survive you and I'm given the opportunity to speak at your funeral, I 100% guarantee I'm going to describe you as ham-faced.
Ham-faced.
And if I get to speak with an open casket, I'm going to point at your face and I'm going to say, look at it.
Look at
look at that.
It's full of ham.
Ham-faced.
Yeah. But I mean, he was in The Jerk. He was the guy shooting at the cans in Jerk.
Yeah.
He hates these cans! Stay away from the cans! Die, gas pupper!
He was in Fletch.
Now, how long have you had these pains, Mr. Barber?
No, that's Babar.
2 B's?
1 B. B-A-B-A-R.
That's 2.
Yeah, but not right next to each other. I thought that's what you meant.
Arno Babar. Isn't there a children's book about an elephant named Babar?
I don't know. I don't have any.
No children?
No elephant books.
He's one of these guys that shows up in everything.
Yeah.
I remember him most from The Jerk.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think of what else.
He was in Raising Arizona.
Hey, me and Bill is patrolling down 9 Miles.
Bill Roberts?
No, not that mother scratcher. Bill Parker. Anyway.
Mother Scratcher.
Yeah, which I use with my kids now because I can't,
But yeah, a great guy, just a fantastic actor, and I still cannot believe they called him ham-faced. A few years ago, remember Abe Vigoda, who was Fish on Barney Miller, and he was in The Godfather? they described him as sunken-eyed actor.
I just
Now that may not have been NPR, but somebody, I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Sunken-eyed? Sunken-eyed.
Sunken-eyed.
I don't need a description on my obit.
Ham-faced.
Ham-faced. NPR. I want somebody from NPR. Dottie, I want someone from NPR on this podcast next week.
They're usually NPR is like the most dry, like, thank you for listening to the
NPR.
Actors Studio.
Yeah.
Today we're talking about Emmett Walsh, the ham-faced.
Ham-faced,
Yeah, you don't-
heavy set. Like,
Heavy-
okay, yeah, you know what? He could lose a few pounds, right? You don't need to say that either.
Yeah.
All you had to do was say, damn, was he a great actor?
Yeah.
Reliable.
Yeah, he did things.
Yes.
He didn't just be fat and have a ham face.
Probably worked more than any other actor out
More
there.
than whoever wrote that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so disappointed in NPR. I'm canceling my subscription that I don't have to NPR.
By the way, one of my favorite characters in Raising Arizona is the hayseed in the bank.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, which is it, young feller? Well, if I need to drop, then I'm going to be in motion. And if I'm in motion, then I'm moving. And I just, shut up!
Hey, these blow up into funny shapes at all?
Well, no, unless round is funny.
I would look that movie up the other day. I think it's either PG or PG-13. I want to watch that with
Yeah.
the kid. That's, oh my God.
The Coen brothers should have written the obit
Yes.
for
Yeah.
Emmett Walsh.
Yeah.
And the M stood for Michael, by
Yeah.
the way.
Yeah.
I don't know why he went by M, but Emmett Walsh. Dude,
Yeah.
I was a fan. If you're listening to this up in podcast heaven,
Yeah.
I miss you already, bud.
He's like the guy.
You ham-faced son of a bitch.
There's another guy that was in almost everything that recently passed, and he was in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Mm-hmm.
He was the guy that they were getting the hotel room, and Dell didn't have enough money.
Yes.
And he was in the original Alien. He's been in like tons of stuff.
Yeah.
But you don't
I
really...
can't remember his name either. But
What did
yeah.
they call him? Jeez, man, if you're in show business and you kick the can, somebody's waiting for an insult for you.
You're listening to Irritable Dad Syndrome, Cincinnati's comedy podcast.
You two are just dumber than a bag of hammers.
Every Friday night we watch a movie and order pizza. Okay. And we watch it downstairs in the movie room. And we're always going on Netflix and trying to find something that everybody wants to see.
Yeah.
And, Jacob's 19 now and he wants to watch war movies and okay. And then Cameron, he's 15 and he's not ready to watch a lot of the stuff that Jacob wants to watch. And usually they're at the age where they don't want to watch the same thing. Right. And then, my mom comes over to visit and mom's like, we can watch whatever. She doesn't really care, but I still try to find something that everybody wants to watch.
Yeah.
I finally was like, I own all these movies. I don't know how many movies, a lot of movies on DVD. I went through my collection and then, oh my God, voila, we're going to watch Better Off Dead with
Okay.
John Cusack.
Yeah.
Okay, kids, we're watching Better Off Dead. And I told Mom we're watching Better Off Dead. And it's one of Mom's favorite movies. She absolutely loves it. Libby hadn't seen it in forever. Oh my God. We had the best time.
So this is one he's holding the boom.
No, that was Say Anything.
okay.
Yeah.
So I was going to say there's two
Yeah.
movies. There's
Yeah.
two John Cusack
It's
movies.
iconic.
So Better Off Dead is he's a cartoon. He makes the cartoons.
He draws a cartoon at one point in
Yeah,
time at
yeah.
the cafeteria, but he's not known as a cartoonist.
But there's like an animated section.
Yes,
with like
there
an
is.
elephant doing
The
something.
intro is animated, and then Van Halen's Everybody Wants Some
Okay.
is claymation.
Okay.
But he plays Lane Myers, and his girlfriend, Beth, broke up with him. He was obsessed. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Was just head over heels in love with her. She broke up with him. But it's hysterically funny.
Unaliving yourself,
Yes.
I think is what
his best friend, Charles DeMar, played by Booger from
But I was
Revenge
gonna,
of the
yeah,
Nerds.
Booger.
He's hysterical. And
Is Bobcat Goldthwait? Is that the one? Is this the one Bobcat Goldthwait
Bobcat
dresses up as Godzilla?
no, Bobcat's not in this one. I think that may have been One Crazy Summer.
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
I get all these mixed up. Okay.
Yeah. So we're watching this. We're absolutely loving it.
Okay.
And the kids going crazy. And then, the neighbor who has the French foreign exchange student, Monique.
That's a Christmas present. You have Christmas in France? Christmas. Christmas.
Kids are dying. They're
Yeah.
just absolutely dying. And it's John Cusack's I mean, it was his first major motion picture, first
Okay.
starring role.
Yeah.
It's still my favorite. I mean,
Yeah.
he's made, I don't know, 30 or 40 great films.
I love
since
John
then.
Cusack.
I do too.
Have
Yeah.
you seen what's the one that he's in with Ray Liotta? It's a serial killer movie. Is Identity.
I think I have.
Yes, I love that movie. Yeah,
His other really big popular one with the tweens is it High Fidelity?
I don't think I've ever seen that one.
He
worked it,
he has hundreds and hundreds of albums, like somebody I know.
Yeah.
And his buddy comes over, and he had taken all of his albums out, had them scattered on the floor, and he's like, "What are you doing?" He says, "I'm rearranging my albums." And his friend said, "Oh God, please say you're not doing it alphabetically." He says, "No, I'm doing it biographically." And then his buddy's like, "Do you need help?" And he was like just nerding out, wanting to arrange these albums biographically. But we're watching Better Off Dead, and the science teacher or the math teacher pulls Lane aside. He says, "Hey, listen, I know this is odd, but would you care if I asked out Beth?" The math teacher is one of those character actors, Vincent. I can't remember his last name.
Okay.
He had been in just so many movies, and I'm trying to think of where I've seen him before. And I go on the IMDb, and it turns out he was in Death the Smoochie, and he played Buggy Ding Dong in Death the Smoochie.
Can I make a brief aside here really quick? And I think I've said this before, but I'll say it again. I was looking up Bryan Cranston the other day because I remember he was in an episode of Seinfeld,
Yes.
Breaking Bad,
Played the
and then
dentist.
Everybody Loves the Middle Kid, or
Malcolm in the Middle. He was on an episode of The X-Files.
Well, go to his IMDb page. The man has been working for decades.
Since he
Like
was a
there's
sperm.
hundreds of like, I was like, oh my God. He's in like every TV show on TV that has been on TV.
Yeah.
He was like in all of them.
Yeah.
He was in Saving Private Ryan.
That's right.
Yeah,
I don't remember where, but
He's one of the guys that, and we just said this on a recent episode. So whoever's listening to these, like back to back, like you just said this, and now deal with it.
and I forgot it since last week.
He's one of them that they bring the letter to. The ladies type in the letter, the three Ryan brothers, and hands
That's
it to
right.
him, and he's like, "Holy crap, Jesse, did you see that?" You know, and they go off and
What's
and
up,
start the
bitch?
mission.
Yeah. Seriously, stop after you listen to this podcast. Watch Better Off Dead. If you haven't seen it, it holds up. It's still an amazing, just fantastic movie.
Johnny.
4 weeks. 20 papers, that's $2 plus tip.
Gee, Johnny, I don't have a dime. Sorry.
Didn't ask for a dime. $2.
Well, it's funny. See, my mom had to leave early to take my brother to school and my dad to work because...
$2. Cash.
After we watched Better Off Dead, we watched Grumpy Old Men with Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau.
The best part of that is the very end, the credits.
The Burgess Meredith. Yeah.
Take the porpoise to Tuna Town.
Jeez, Dad. Yeah. Looks like he's going to put the hot dog in the bun. Dad. My favorite part was when Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon were fighting on the ice there where they were ice fishing. And his dad goes, "You damn kids, cut it out." And Walter Matthau was scared to death. "Oh, Mr. Gusterson. Oh, I'm sorry." What's this 95-year-old man going to do to him, right? They were scared of him.
Yeah, there was a time period in the 80s and 90s where like old people were hardcore awesome in movies.
Yeah.
Like they were all over the place. Batteries Not Included, Cocoon, Grumpy Old Men.
Yeah.
I mean, they were like, and then they all just went, all the old people went away.
They died.
Well, yeah. But you had the lady in Titanic, and that was it for a long time. Yeah. You know, I was just thinking today, during one of my toilet visits, I think we're due, because I was actually putting on this Marvel shirt, and I thought, wow, Marvel, a couple of years ago, this would have been like, we'd be talking about the new Marvel movie.
Yeah.
There's really nothing except for Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
That's worth anything that's coming out.
Yeah.
And
if that's a disappointment, then I'm going to.
No, it's not.
That can't possibly
it's not,
be.
No.
There's no way that can be.
But
a disappointment.
it made me think, these things go in cycles, and they kind of follow all the kids that were heavy into the Marvel stuff are like older now, like going to college and that type of thing. Like the kids.
Yeah.
We are what we are.
Yeah.
But the kids. So I think we're due for the next, and I know you're not a fan of this guy, But I think we're due for the next Quentin Tarantino. The next, you remember how the 90s, everything got kind of really hard edge versus the 80s?
Yeah.
Everything was like fantasy and Star Warsy and stuff in the 80s. And all of a sudden in the 90s, everything's a crime movie and Quentin Tarantino and all that. I think we're due for that to come in.
For a new director who blazes her own trail, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
But on that gritty path, on that like a new... So everyone remembers when Pulp Fiction came out.
Yeah.
When you talk to people, I guarantee there's somebody talking to their car radio or whatever right now saying, well, I was a Reservoir Dogs. That was my whatever. You had a buddy that had it on VHS.
Yeah.
Kids, look that up.
Yeah. Be kind, rewind.
But Pulp Fiction was the one that hit. And it hit hard partially because it had, at the time, what seemed like a new look. Boomers, I know you're hearing this and you're saying, well, he was just doing what we did in the 70s. Yes, but in the 90s, it was new. Like if you look at how Pulp Fiction is, it was like an homage to the like 70s style movies.
Well, yeah, that's what Quentin loved. Those. So
who is going to come out and what are they going to homage to? Is it the homage to the 80s? Are we already in that? Is the next Steven Spielberg about to appear? And is that person Christopher Nolan?
That's a very deep question,
We're
Mike.
We're deep in it now. Yeah. We've left the comedy road was about a mile back that way.
Here.
Yeah, we jumped the swamp and we're in with we here be gators.
No, we're definitely living in the time of Christopher Nolan.
There's a new.
Did you see at the Oscars when Jimmy Kimmel looked out and saw Steven Spielberg there, and he said, "Wait, what are you doing here?" It's like, are you nominated or do you have season tickets? And he says both. It's like, that's pretty good timing on Spielberg. Yeah.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special announcement. Congratulations to Chad Bennett, Irritable Dad Syndrome's Listener of the Week. This has been a special announcement.
Oh, that's exciting. I'm going to drop my pants and fire a rocket.
So last week, Mike was at the beginning of the show teasing at how much he hates Kia. He's had a lot of trouble with Kia, and we're going to talk about Kia, and we didn't talk about Kia. So now I'm going to give the floor to Mike.
So I posted about my Kia adventures on Facebook, and I just got I don't say I got attacked, but I got post after post. I love my Kia. I had a Kia, and it's the best thing that ever happened to me. I just had a baby in my Kia, and he's going to cure cancer. Like, all these pro Kia things. So I did the first thing I've done in a long, long time. I just deleted the post. I didn't want to answer these people. I just delete the Kia post because I thought maybe I've gone too far. I've got some people that are Facebook friends that every once in a while go too far. And I go, whoa, Sally. Maybe you shouldn't put that much of your personal life out there on the interwebs for people to see.
Right.
You know?
Plus, Sally's a little... you know what I mean?
Yeah. So
she ain't got a right to talk about someone else being dirty.
I thought maybe somebody could be doing that with me, saying and calling me Sally to get my post off the thing. So I took it off. But here's what happened. My Kia and I have a love-hate relationship. All right. I bought it when I needed a car now. Like I need to go to work and I don't have a car. So I bought this.
And then you went to work.
Yeah. I got an exceptional deal on it. An amazing deal.
Too good to be true deal?
I still haven't seen a deal like this. And I've been looking. Because we have a 16-year-old up there. I've been looking around. I haven't seen a deal this, what appeared as good. So I thought, I did some reading, and a lot of the reason that Kias are so cheap is because there's no tariff. There's no tax on them. So they can be cheaper.
What? Since when?
No, you pay tax when you buy it, but then coming into the country, no import.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. So edit that so you don't look like a...
No. I could not look any stupider than I...
Anyway, we got a great deal on it. And I was like, wow, it has a backup camera. Like, I was trying to get a car that has doors and an engine. Okay. And I got most of that.
To say, my car has a backup camera. It is not a Kia.
So since then, weird things have happened. It has the volume and the tracking stuff all on the steering wheel and the cruise control.
Yep.
For some reason, one time during a drive, all that just stopped working.
Hey, what happened?
No reason, no anything. It just quit. Then it'll randomly come back, and then it goes away. I know when it comes back because I'll accidentally hit the call button. All of a sudden I'm dialing somebody and I don't know who it is and I have to hang up, but the button quit working. So now I have to get my phone while I'm driving and stop it. The headlights are horrible. Mm-hmm. They are very, very bad. And I looked up getting brighter headlights. I was like, what can I do? And there's hundreds, literally hundreds of posts on Kia and car forums about Kia's headlights blow. And people have put higher power headlights and they don't work because it's not the bulb. It's the little reflectors. There's stuff in there, and this is all sciencey stuff, and I'm not going to pretend to understand it.
Yes, science!
But the way the little reflectors in there are made, they project a beam. Kia somehow that up and shoots the light where it shouldn't go. Have you ever aimed your headlights with screwdrivers and everything?
No.
I've done that.
Yeah, my headlights always point where they're supposed to.
Yeah, mine were all cockeyed.
Ooh,
they were all wonky-eyed, and I got them aimed perfectly.
They were ham-faced.
And wonderful. And yeah, they were ham-faced. And then we try to drive at night. It's a hair-raising experience. Because we go visit Bessa's family in West Virginia, and we're driving through the mountains of West Virginia, and you can barely see anything.
Yeah.
I almost
can barely
tailgate.
See the toll booths.
I love it when we get behind another car,
mm-hmm.
and I tailgate them so that I can use their red lights to illuminate the road. That's brighter than my headlights. And I have bought brighter lights than what were originally on the Kia.
Wow.
I don't even know how they would work now. So anyway, it's had its share of problems. I've already talked about the airbag problem.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to take my car in for a recall to get an appointment for the airbags. The recall was for a fuse problem, which is what caused the steering wheel to die.
Yeah.
I used that appointment to fix my airbags because otherwise I was going to have to wait 8 months to fix my airbags.
Yeah.
Okay. So the other day at lunch, I connect my Bluetooth to the Kia. I've learned that in order to connect my Bluetooth, I have to turn the Bluetooth on my phone off. I then wait for the Kia to say, your phone's disconnected. Do you want to reconnect? I then say, okay. I turn the Bluetooth on my phone on, wait for it to connect, wait for my phone to say I'm connected for calls and audio, wait another 2 seconds, push the phone button on the Kia, it comes up, and we go. I have to do that every time I turn the key off to the Kia. No other car has ever done that. And once you pair a phone up, it's paired. And if you have your Bluetooth on, it'll just come on.
Yeah.
This one, I have to do that every single time. Hold on. If I skip any step,
mm-hmm.
or go out of order, I have to repeat the entire process from the beginning.
Well, I was going to add to that. You were in my car one time.
Yeah.
You paired your phone to my car when we went to a concert, and it's still paired.
Yeah.
I can't unpair you.
Yeah,
that's
awesome.
why I can't use my phone in my car.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah.
Continue. Which, by the way, the next time I raise my hand, you better let me talk. Don't shut me up.
So randomly, it'll quit working and say that it's connected, but no sound comes out.
Yeah.
In those situations, I have to call Bess on my phone with the car thinking it's not connected. It takes the call away from me, puts it on the car. I say, I got it. She says, what? I hang up on her, and now I can use my phone on my car again to play music.
Mm-hmm.
I've just gotten used to this. It took me about 6 months to figure out this is the magical path to doing it because the internet forums are ridiculous. They just say Kia sucks and they blow and the software is Microsoft and the Microsoft blows. Nobody actually tells you how to fix these things. That all leads up to this story. I'm at lunch. All right. I turn off the key. I have to go in the gas station. I have to get a Butterfinger. Daddy needed a Butterfinger.
I love Butterfingers.
I come back in to the car. The car is off. I notice my screen's on. Ruh-roh. That's not supposed to be happening. I turn the car on. The screen's not working. It's not responding to anything. I drive back to work. I turn the car off. The screen just stays on. It's just on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to turn it off.
Yeah.
It won't go off. So I make an appointment with CarX because they're the only people I trust with my car anymore.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I explained the problem to them. It wasn't Dave. It was another guy.
Yeah.
And he said, I've literally never heard of that before. He's like, you're telling me you turned it off and the screen is still on.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah. And I said, I'm afraid that my battery's just going to die. Like I need to keep it running before I take it in. He said, yeah, you should probably, as soon as you can get it in here, bring it in. I was like, by the way, my air conditioner's out too, because that also, I've had the car.
Why not?
I've had the car through 3 summers. Every summer, the air conditioner's out. So I tell my boss, I got to take this. I have a weird problem because it's a Kia and it's a long story. I got to take my car in. He's like, okay. I go out, the screen's off. Now I'm thinking, oh my God, the battery's dead. I turn the key, everything's normal. It's back to normal. And it connects to my phone, which isn't even, I don't even have it ready to go.
Yeah.
So then I turn the car off, I go back in there, and I'm like, I guess I don't need to take it now. It's okay. That night, all right, I had my appointment later. It turns out I had to spend $500 on my air conditioner because a hose broke, and it's a special hose. And
it's a special hose, yes.
But I looked up the Kia forums because I always love reading those, because if you want to have fun reading about how much a car sucks, go to the Kia forums. Those people have it bad. I saw post after post after post. You know, when you go on these things and you ask a question, they have the best answer. The best answer is this is a common problem. And the best answer is take your car to the side of the road, turn it off, open the hood, disconnect your battery.
Right.
And I don't want to get anybody shocked or battery blown up.
Do not try this, by the way.
I can't remember which terminal you're supposed to disconnect first. It said it's extremely important you disconnect one before the other, otherwise your battery could explode.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, that's where I'm not doing this.
Right.
By the way, you have to have a wrench to take these things off. You disconnect the battery. Then you, according to this post, you touch the leads together to short out your system. Then put it back on the battery in a certain order.
Yeah.
Then go and turn on the car. And most of the time that works. If not, let your car idle for a bit, then turn it off, repeat this process. And the person that posted this said, I have to do this once every week or so.
I don't think so.
I expected to see post after post after reply. There were 1,000 replies. I expect to see all these people saying, what the hell are you doing? No, they were all like, thank you. Thank you. The thing hasn't worked for weeks. I thought the batteries, thank you. Oh, this is great. I'm an engineer and this is the only way to handle this. I was like, oh my God. Wow. This is the thing I have.
So a couple of years ago, we were on vacation and I don't remember where we were. I think we were driving to Tennessee and we stopped, got gas, went in, used the bathroom, got a Butterfinger, whatever. And we're going back out to the car and it will not start. Nothing. And do you have a key or do you have just the push button?
Key.
I really miss a key, but that has nothing to do with this.
You have a push button.
So yeah, we got the push button. So it won't start. I'm like, crap, how can the battery die? We were literally just driving.
Yeah.
Now it's dead. I'm like, well, I've got, jumpers or I got cables. I know how to jump the car. So I try to find someone who can jump the car for me. I pop the trunk. Jesus. I pop the hood.
Yeah.
And I touch it. Inside the car, all the lights, everything, the radio comes on.
Yeah.
And all I did was touch it. I'm like, oh my God, I have magic powers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Libby, try and start it. She started it. And it's like, what did you do? And I said, I didn't do anything. I touched it.
Yeah. You shorted it
out.
I guess. I don't know.
I don't know what I did, but we're like, okay. So, and here we are. We're on the road. We're hundreds of miles away from home.
Yeah.
Like, this is not a good time to have an engine that doesn't start.
Yeah.
So we drive, and it doesn't do that again until like a couple of days later. The battery's dead. Try to start it. You touch it. You pop the hood.
Yeah.
Apparently, popping the hood sends some type of trigger to it.
You better start working. Grandpa's looking at you now.
It did it again.
Yeah.
We get it home. I just took it in because I'm like, it keeps dying on me.
Yeah.
I don't know why. And they told me there's nothing wrong with it. The battery's fine. Your engine's fine. This is fine. This is fine. And that something was kind of loose. And there's like a loose connection in there.
Okay.
Between this and that.
Okay.
I'm like, but it's not supposed to be that way.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to unplug something and hold it together and hold one foot in the air and then touch a tree, hope that Doc Brown can, at 88 miles an hour, electricity will start your car.
Yeah. Get a Wrigley's wrapper and stuff it in there. It doesn't
go all MacGyver on it. Yeah.
So I used to have my first car was a Buick Skyhawk, and some people I
had a lot of pickup.
No, I always went through this. A Skylark? No, a Skyhawk. There was a Skyhawk. I know there was a Skylark. There was a Skyhawk.
There was a Skyhawk and a Skylark?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It was a manual 5-speed.
God,
thing.
I miss driving I miss driving a stick shift so bad.
Boy, it had some better days. In its later years, and I don't know why, I had to put a bag of ice on the engine to get it to start. So every time I went somewhere, I parked at a gas station, and then I would go do whatever I'm doing, come back, buy a bag of ice, put it on the engine. I smoked then. I'd smoke a cigarette. By the time I was done, I'd take the bag, throw it in the can, turn on the car, and go. I don't know how I figured that out, but it worked. The radio, the tape player, also had to warm up.
Oh.
So in the winter...
The tape player has to warm up.
Yeah. If you put a tape in the winter, right when you start the car, you turn it on, and then it's gone. The tape you just broke whatever tape you had in there. You have to wait until you're about a mile down the road, then put the tape in, and it's like, it's like it gets. But I had a friend of mine put a tape in the car. He was like, he got excited, and I didn't have time to warn him before he put it in. And he's like, I was like, no, and it's like, and it's gone.
Dude, it ate his Ace of Base tape.
Yeah, his Motley Crue tape. It's gone. Girls.
Yeah. Man, my first car was an 84 Ford Escort hatchback. It used as much oil as it used gas.
Oh, that's another thing.
It was great, man. Then I was driving to college one day, and every time I get to a red light, it's shaking and smoke's coming out of the engine.
I always had fuel injector cleaner and quarts of oil. Like I had multiple fuel injector cleaners. So it's like the okay. Put the gas tank. Yeah. Put the bag of ice down.
And then
here we go.
Something started leaking underneath the gas and the brake pedals or whatever. My floorboard was weird and slippery, and so I'm constantly wiping that up. I could never tell where it was coming from. Yeah. And then the door wouldn't lock. I'm like, who's gonna steal it? Yeah. I didn't lock the car anyway.
My second car, which was given to my mom gave to me, was a Ford Probe, and it was an '89. And I drove that until I got my first official new car as an adult.
Right.
And then I just, I stopped remembering to change the oil in the probe. The intention was just drive the probe until it would drive no more.
Yeah.
And it turns out you can't do that. I was driving on the highway and I heard and felt something go clank from the front of the car. And it sounded like it went all the way through to the back. I actually looked to see if I had a hole in me. It sounded like something went through. And then I watched the temperature gauge just peg. And I never looked at the temperature gauge because when do you ever look at the temperature gauge in a car?
Right.
I just looked at it because it was one thing that moved and it just went, And I got out and popped the hood, and boy, howdy, did a fireball shoot out. The engine was on fire.
Nice.
And I ran screaming down the highway, waving my hands. An uncomfortable number of cars passed me without doing anything.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm
Isn't
not
that great.
This wasn't like a small fire. This was like a... what's the director? This was a Michael Bay fireball, highway. It looked like we were filming Mad Max out there.
Nicolas Cage should have been right next to it.
It was a miniature mushroom cloud came out of this thing, and I'm screaming.
You're lucky to be alive,
Some lady
man.
stopped, and the cops and the fire department came. I had my CD case with 256 CDs in it, which were worth way more than the car was. And I was talking to one of the firefighters, they were busy putting the car out. And I'm like, can I get in there and get my CD? I mean, it's the engine that's on fire. Can I get my CDs? And he's like, son, your car's totaled.
Yeah.
I get it. Can I get the CD? They're right there. And he's like, they're going to burn. I was like, okay. So we waited. They got the fire out, talked to the cops and everything. And I'm like, I tell the cop, can I just get, and they acted like I was crazy.
Well, come on, you get what valuables you have in it.
So the car, the reason I still had the car was...
Why can't I not talk tonight?
I was going to trade the car in when I got my new car. They were going to give me $300 in trade-in value. The CDs were worth more than $300.
Yeah. So they wouldn't let you get the CDs out?
They eventually, when they had the car out, the fire was gone, and the cop said, "I wouldn't get in it," but he's like, "You do what you want."
Why not? It's stuff that you own in the car.
Yeah, they didn't see it that way. They saw it as it was destroyed, but clearly it wasn't. It was smoky. Boy, those CDs smelled like smoke for years.
It's like the car, yes.
Yeah.
But the stuff in it, no. Like if you had a leather jacket or it's like, come on.
Fun fact.
My tennis racket's in the back seat.
Fun fact, that CD case got stolen like years later. Out of my car, and I'm still pissed about it.
Yeah,
I know most of those CDs are in a CD store that doesn't exist anymore in Troy, Ohio, because that's where it happened. I went to the CD store because they bought used CDs, and I was like, "It's interesting. You got a lot of U2 bootlegs in here, like a bunch of them."
Wow.
And the guy's like, "Yeah, somebody just came in and sold a bunch of them." Yeah, I think and I can't prove they're mine,
right?
Anyway, kids, write your name on your CDs if you have any.
Yeah. It won't prohibit them from being sold.
It's the most useless advice.
Hey, we have news you can use. Yeah.
This portion of Irritable Dad Syndrome is brought to you by Whoppers All-Beef Footlong Hot Dogs. Hi, I'm Dave Lay, and I love everything about Whoppers. From the intoxicating aroma to the robust flavor in every bite. Gosh, even holding one in your hand makes you thankful that the good Lord invented hot dogs. Right now, buy a jumbo pack of Whoppers, and they'll throw in a free package of new Whoppers bacon. Whoppers are made with 100% pure beef, with no fillers or preservatives. Get a ruler and measure it yourself. If your hot dog isn't a foot long, they'll give you your money back. Guaranteed. Whoppers, the hot dog everyone's talking about. Now, back to the show.
Hey, I wanted to give a little update. Remember a few months ago, we were trying to really bad to get Nick Offerman on the show.
Yeah.
And he was the first person to respond.
Yeah.
And they said politely that, thank you. He can't come because, because he's unavailable. I didn't give her a specific date, but he was unavailable.
He's just always unavailable at any given moment.
Normally, if given a choice between doing something and nothing, I'd choose to do nothing. But I will do something if it helps someone else do nothing. I'd work all night if it meant nothing got done.
Well, I've been trying to contact David Sedaris to get David on this show.
Yeah.
I got a response from them.
Okay.
And David is currently not doing press. But
we're not press. We're just two in the basement.
He's not doing any interviews right now.
Okay.
But they have us on cue.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And when he does, then
we're first on the list
to say no. So not a yes, not a no from David Sedaris.
Well, okay. So far our celebrity list is not a no, not a yes from David Sedaris.
Right.
Hard no from Nick Offerman.
Right.
And the Pussifer people said, we'll keep you in mind.
Right.
For the future.
Southern Culture on the Skids said, we're on tour. Let's talk. And they gave me a email to reach out to remind them.
Yeah.
So Southern Culture on the Skids, not a no.
Yeah.
Not a yes. David Letterman was a thank you for asking, but no thanks.
You too. I made eye contact while wearing the, in my defense, I thought it was funny shirt with each of them.
Yeah.
I mean, not really Larry because he wasn't there, but the other drummer. So that's another band.
Yeah.
Bram, whatever band he's in. So, I mean, they saw the shirt. And who's to say they didn't scan the QR code without my knowledge?
Crazier things have happened.
They have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you a fan of Irritable Dad Syndrome? Then show your support by wearing a stylish Irritable Dad Syndrome t-shirt. Our shirts are designed with 3 of our most famous, hilarious catchphrases. You need to learn more words? Put the thing on the thing? And in my defense, I thought it was funny. They come in a variety of sizes and colors. If you're a guy, women will see this shirt and instantly want to go out with you. So be the envy of all your friends and buy one today. Irritable Dad Syndrome t-shirts, available now at irritabledadsyndrome.com.
I want to complain about something.
No,
Remember, it was like 3 or 4 weeks ago when I was like, these people are bitching about all this stuff and they need to just stop bitching about everything. And here I am bitching about on Facebook. You're on Facebook.
I am.
And it says, hey, these 4 people have birthdays today.
Yeah.
Used to be you go through and you say, oh, cool. Happy birthday, Trevor. Happy birthday, Jill. Yeah. Hey, Jill, I hope you have a fantastic birthday. Cindy, happy birthday. Send. Now they've got these automatic, auto-generated birthday messages that have an AI generated image of
emojis
you,
and stuff,
an emoji, thank you, in the stupidest, corniest. It's ridiculous. I'm like, I don't know this person that well to send a happy birthday message with an emoji of me covered in hearts.
And there's little options like which one you want to pick.
And they're all dumber than the next.
I want them to, I actually like that because I want them to put an inappropriate one in the mix for people who aren't paying attention.
Right.
So you'll accidentally say happy birthday and then have an eggplant going to a peach emoji.
Yeah.
You know, like,
but no, these all are most of them have the emoji of you.
I don't. Yeah, the person emoji.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't. That's the little avatar or whatever the hell that thing is called.
So now I have to spend half of my day, Mike. I gotta go to their page, then I've got to scroll down, then I've got to write happy birthday on their page instead of just. And that's
usually
why
that's
why I can't get any work done.
Usually I just tap the thing and type happy thing. Yeah. Sometimes I'll just tap it.
Happy thing. Love Mike.
That's what I'm going to do from now on.
Happy thing.
You boys couldn't sell $1 for 50 cents.
I got to let our wonderful viewers. We went to a celebration last night.
We did.
We
do not discuss politics.
We don't.
Right.
At all.
Right.
And this thing that we went was very political.
Yes.
In many different ways. So years ago, we talked about a jackass in the community.
Yeah.
On the school board.
Yes.
And what had happened. And the reason we talked about it on this podcast was because the school board meetings were just out of this world.
We're
insane.
Talking like Jerry Springer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
forget education.
Throwing chairs.
It had nothing to do with education.
Right.
It was all about this. But anyway, this person has been ejected.
Yes. Ousted. As it were.
Is the word.
Yeah.
And so there was a little celebrations at the Grainworks Brewery over here, down here by the church.
They have beer.
And beer, and they have the round pizza thing.
Food.
So we went there, and we're having I think a decent time.
Yeah.
And then a politician.
A gentleman walks up and says to Mike, hi, and Mike says hi.
Yeah.
And then the guy looks at me and goes, and I know you.
Oh.
And I said, I don't think
that's
you do.
Usually when the warrant comes out.
And he goes, you look very familiar to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I've never seen you before in my life. Yeah, nice enough guy. Yeah. And he's talking and talking and talking and talking.
Yeah.
Again, very nice guy.
Wonderful person.
I was saying, I'm debating not saying this because if he listens to me, I don't want to hurt his
feelings. He's going to listen. He said he's going to listen to the show.
I'm like,
he may be having. Hold on, I want to put this picture in your head. He's had a horrible day.
Yeah.
People were mean to him all day.
Yeah.
He thought, "Hey, I'm going to listen to this podcast by these guys I met at this brewery. That'll lift my spirits." Because they told me it's all comedy. We look for the positive.
We do.
We don't do anything political.
No, we don't.
So go ahead and say what you're going to say.
It's gonna tell me. I promise I'll vote for you if you just let me finish my beer.
Oh boy.
He was a nice guy.
Nice guy.
He was a very nice guy, and I did enjoy talking to him.
Well, part of I think, if I may, I want to articulate some of this.
Okay.
We were there to not talk politics.
Yeah.
We were there to have a beer.
Yeah.
And talk about the end of the Jerry Springer era on the school board.
Right.
And then in walks the politics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
I want to add something. I stuck my foot completely into my own mouth.
You did.
We were talking to a couple at this shindig. It was me and my wife Bess, and then Darin. So the three of us are hanging out.
Libby had a headache and wasn't able to come, and she says hello to everybody.
And there was another couple, and they sat across from us, and we're talking about somehow we ended up talking about this podcast and how it started.
Yeah.
And I said, you said we were at scout meetings.
Yes.
We noticed that we're telling stories and people are listening. And then I said, what the hell are people going to talk about at a scout meeting? About the scouts? I mean, who gives a And turns out this guy's a scoutmaster.
He and his wife are both.
And his wife are both
scoutmasters.
Boy, they thought that was a hoot. I have what is known as a superpower. It's great. Now, it's great at parties or situations like that, where I will take my foot and jam it right in my mouth. Not so good in professional circles, because it happens everywhere, by the way. And I have to be very careful when I'm talking to people who may get offended or whatever. I'm like, Mike, just tone it down. Just come down just a bit. Maybe don't say who gives a about this.
Yeah.
You know. Instead, say... They chose not to speak of such things.
This guy had been a volunteer cub master for years.
I mean,
he's like, these. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah. See ya.
Yeah.
We'd like to welcome our Dayton viewers.
Now, guys, we're going to go. Before we go,
yes.
You know what? For weeks and weeks and weeks, we've been begging people to buy T-shirts.
Oh.
2 people have bought T-shirts.
2.
Number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plural.
We had one of our listeners in Florida say, hey, what's up, Jackholes? I bought a damn T-shirt. Quit bitching.
Chad Bennett bought a T-shirt.
Yeah. And then so I went to go look and see, because I get to see what was ordered, and I see another T-shirt was ordered around the same time.
Yeah.
It's like, holy crap.
So, yeah, they're selling like hotcakes.
We've sold
I have good
2.
news. They're still available.
Are.
There's still plenty in stock.
Yeah.
So get them now for early Christmas presents. Yeah.
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 Yeah. I mean, they're pretty good shirts.
They are. Yeah. And honest to God, everywhere we go when we wear them, people compliment them all the time.
Yeah, we were really excited when that first started happening because it's like, wow, these things are going to take off. Now I'm a bit jaded. Somebody says, hey, man, where'd you get that shirt? I was like, I'll tell you where I got the shirt. At the website. But you don't care because you're not going to go. And if you do, you're not going to buy it. So, whatever. Oh, I'm back.
You know
a lot of quacks to put in this
one of
thing.
these days, we're going to be invited to like podcast-thon, and we're going to be in a booth.
Podcast-thon.
Yeah, it'll be podcast-thon and or podcast con or whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
And there'll be us and that guy who does the podcast about plants.
Yeah.
And what's his face? Joe Rogan will be there.
Yeah.
And all the people who are tired of waiting 8 hours in line to meet Joe Rogan will be disappointed.
Yeah.
They'll turn around and on their way out to their car, well, why don't we stop and talk to these guys?
Yeah.
And then you're going to be like, these people can't buy a damn shirt, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah. We're going to go to irritabledadsyndrome.com. You can download every single episode we have. There's a lot of really good ones on there. There really is. Yeah.
Follow us on the Apple Podcast, the Spotify Podcast. Google Podcast is going away, but follow us there anyway.
Yeah.
Hear them there before it's gone.
Yeah. Tell all your friends about it. And we hope to hear from you next week on Irritable Dad Syndrome.
Irritable Dad Syndrome is a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production.
Yeah, I mean, I am literally always on. You throw me into a room with 20 people, I don't know them. What's going on, fellas? Yeah. Is that gravy? Okay.
99% of my thought goes through my butt. Just speak.
Check chest 1, 2.
Okay. Oh my gosh. We're going to end up on a Netflix special. Hey, we'll get more listeners.
We might. Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's Netflix. Watching something for the first time.
Don't let him give you about your ponytail.
Yeah. That's right. You want to blame? We can blame me. I'm the one who shot him.
I don't care. You know what I started doing recently?
What's that? Talking like you're from New Orleans?
Yeah, watching.
You cook up that mighty fine run down there.
Right up, get it on there. Yeah.
What? Oh,
come
now
on down
we need to get on down there.
Come on now
to the bayou.
Oh, Peacock misses me.
Yeah, it looks like Chuck Slippener, the old salami.
Oh, Jesus, Dad.
Recording stopped.